There has always been controversy in the hip-hop and love industries, but the most recent rumors have the whole fan base on edge. Imagine Masika Kalysha, a lady who is notorious for speaking her mind, entering the public eye with accusations so strong they have the potential to destroy one of the most renowned couples on reality TV. Yes, we are referring to Mendeecees and Yandy Smith, two figures that supporters believe to be unstoppable, currently embroiled in rumors of treachery, secrets, and a startling purported affair. Never one to hold back, massacres hint that there's more to Mendeecees' story than anyone has dared to utter aloud sparked the rumor mill. The internet exploded. Timelines that were full with conjecture. Was she only stirring things up? Or was she revealing something that had the power to alter everything? Fans are already split. Some people think Masika's remarks are merely sarcastic. However, others claim that she is hiding receipts that could ruin Yandy. And if that's the case, their years-long, idealized love story might be imploding right before our eyes. What precisely did Masika say then? What is the extent of this purported scandal? The storm is only getting started, so stay tuned. Masika Kalysha has long been seen as someone who welcomes controversy. She was at the center of the most startling allegations the Atlanta Circle had seen in months. This time, it started out subtly with a few vague social media posts that initially appeared to be innocuous. Betrayed tweets in the middle of the night. Before she ever named a name, people were making connections between her impassioned tirade about devotion and a handful of Instagram stories in which she talked about women who believe they are the only queen in the castle. Mendeecees and Yandy were quickly drawn into the whirlwind as the rumors quickly spread like wildfire. Some of you out there think your love is untouchable, but the truth always finds its way out, Masika remarked, leaning in close to the camera during a live session and grinning slyly. Her fans quickly rushed the comments section, asking to know who she was referring to. Don't get too comfortable. The tape was quickly taken up by websites, which then attached it to Mendeecees and Yandy's photos side by side with headlines claiming that Masika had hinted at marital problems. Reactions from fans were swift. Some dismissed it as Masa being sloppy, while others insisted that she knew something that the general public didn't. Masa don't speak on Twitter, one fan wrote. Nothing without receipts. So, if she's disparaging Mendeecees and Yandy, then something's going to happen, retorted another. All she wants is attention. Mendeecees and Yandy are reliable. She must get away from them. However, the curiosity had been aroused regardless of the viewpoint. And in the world of hip-hop and love, curiosity always degenerates into complete pandemonium. According to those behind the cameras, Masika and Mendeecees were frequently seen together. Not only at public gatherings either. They appeared to be having a peaceful talk in the corner of a lounge in a few grainy pictures that went viral online. The timing was strange, but there was nothing incriminating about the photos. The very following day, Masika made her post. When I witness a woman being misled, I can't remain silent. Despite having parallel lives, some of these men continue to smile as if everything is fine. That was sufficient to start a domino effect. Within a few days, hashtags like #MomMasika and No Men Exposed were popular. In an effort to find weaknesses in Yandy and Mendeecees' allegedly unshakable friendship, fans analyzed every previous interview, every photo taken on the red carpet, and every episode clip. When Masa consented to film a scene with a fellow cast member who asked her directly what she meant, the tension escalated. Let's just say Yandy ain't the only one who thinks she has Mendeecees' heart. I know a different side to that man. Masika laughed as she leaned back in her chair and sipped her drink gently. Her words were enough to send shockwaves through the gathering. Eyes opened, jaws dropped, and the room was silent as the cameras recorded every reaction. Whispering, never one to shy away from a conversation. Erika Kamina pushed forward and questioned, are you saying what I think you're saying? Are you saying you and Mendeecees got something going on? Masika's piercing laugh reverberated throughout the room. I didn't say that, she answered. However, lace up the shoe, if it fits. The consequences were instantaneous. The city was filled with news, fans debating in comment sections, bloggers sharing videos, and even other reality stars from other franchises adding cryptic remarks. Under the video, someone uploaded a series of eye emojis. Yandy, however, remained silent as another noted, then knew something wasn't right there. More rumors were only stoked by her silence. Fans bombarded her postings with comments, pleading with her to reply, but she chose to ignore the clamor and keep posting about her family and brand as if nothing had happened. That quiet seemed dignified to many. It appeared to be fear to others. When Mika returned to social media with another indirect shot, the drama intensified even further. She uploaded a photo of herself this time. People began tagging Mendeecees and Yandy and demanding answers within minutes after posting the message, "I'll never be second to nobody." When a man shows you his real heart, believe it. At last, Mendeecees spoke up during a scenario involving a group dinner. Spice said nonchalantly, "Yo, what's going on with these rumors? I keep hearing Masika got something to say about you." The tension was already high. Mendeecees leaned back, his eyes scanned the table, his jaw clenched. "Clout chasing is what people do out here. It's just that. I have a wife. I have a family. Furthermore, I'm not going to sit here and listen to bullshit." Even if the comments sounded plausible, it was noticeable that his tone changed when Masika's name was mentioned. Kirk Frost even mumbled, "Man," under his breath, looking a bit overly pushed. Mika, who never backs down, clapped back online when Rashida gave him a sidelong glance and whispered, "You caught that too." It's funny that individuals want to play family man on TV but lead completely different lives off of it. It's always clout chasing when the truth comes out. The cast was split at this point. While some acknowledged they had seen things that didn't make up, others thought Masa was inciting controversy merely to remain relevant. Look, I'm not saying Masa's telling the whole truth, but I've been around long enough to know when there's fire behind the smoke. Mendeecees is too defensive and Yandy being this quiet. Nah, something's up. Erica Mena went into further detail during her confessional, but the drama didn't remain on television. Supporters started seeing Masa and Mendeecees in comparable settings, often only a few hours apart. Although the video was too blurry to verify, one fan claimed to have seen both of them departing the same hotel. Blogs ran with the headline, "Mika and Mendeecees caught at the same spot." What were they hiding? Yandy was apparently breaking down in private, despite his continued refusal to confront it publicly. She was seen conversing with a close friend in a leaked behind-the-scenes video. Fans were moved by her candor as she remarked, "I don't know what's true anymore. I don't even know who to trust. All I ever wanted was a family that stayed together. And now I feel like I'm losing it all." She was crying. Numerous people showered her sight with encouraging remarks, describing her as strong, urging her to keep her composure in the face of rumors. Yet some still questioned her silence. Masika wasn't finished, though, as one admirer commented, "We love you, Yandy. But if this ain't true, just say it. Your silence makes it look real. You can lie to her, you can lie to the cameras, but you can't lie to me," she stated, staring Mendeecees in the eye during a heated altercation during filming. The room was silent. "I know what it is." Yandy's hands clasped in her lap as her face hardened. With a raised voice, Mendeecees retorted, "You out of pocket? Don't pretend to know me better than my own wife while you sit here." Masika's sneer only became bigger. "Perhaps I don't have to do anything. Perhaps I already do." The whole table exploded. Erica let out a loud gasp. Kirk shook his head in shock as Spice grabbed her mouth. With her chair slapping the floor, Yandy got up and left without a word. "I can't do this. Not like this," she mumbled to herself as the cameras followed her. The consequences of that night were severe. Clips went viral on social media. Fans analyzed every look, every word, and every quiet as hashtags gained popularity. There were others who believed Mika had just revealed the season's largest scandal. Others, however, charged her for being cold and untidy. But one thing was evident: no matter where somebody stood, there was still more drama ahead, and the truth was still hidden in the shadows, just waiting to be exposed. Everything in the room changed when Yandy stormed out of that supper. There was a startled stillness among the cast members. Mika had just dropped the bomb, and everyone was analyzing it. The silence was finally broken by Spice's apprehensive laugh. "This is messy, yo, sloppy. Right now, I'm at a loss for words." With a sharper tone, Erica shook her head. "No, this isn't merely disorganized. This is harmful. She is evil if she is lying. Everything Yandy believes she had, however, is shattered if she is speaking the truth. All of Yandy's possessions are broken." Mendeecees appeared irritated as he massaged his face with both hands. However, he remained at the table rather than running after his wife. You all adore drama. This is just that. Yandy is aware of my position. I don't have to prove myself to anyone here. However, Kirk leaned in and whispered, "Man, if my wife walked out like that, I'd be running after her, not sitting around talking about nothing to prove." The line was captured on camera, and fans later played it over and over again, criticizing Mendeecees for appearing too at ease when his marriage was allegedly in jeopardy. Masika, meantime, took great pleasure in the attention. When she looked directly into the camera during her confessional, she remarked, "See, when the truth cuts deep, people run. I don't need to chase nobody. The truth always makes people uncomfortable, and I can sit in that comfort all day." Her smirk gave the audience the impression that she was not going to back down anytime soon. Yandy was seen pacing her living room back at home. Tears on the verge of falling. She was seated with a close friend who attempted to soothe her. Yandy trembled as she shook her head, saying, "You need to take a deep breath, sis. Don't let her win by hurting you like this." But what if she's not lying? What if everything I've been fighting for has been a lie all along? I stood up for him, and I held him down when the pain in her voice made it obvious that whatever the truth, the damage had already been done. Mika's claims started to get out of hand, and online blogs brought up old interviews of Mendeecees confessing that he hadn't been faithful in previous relationships. "I built our life while he was gone. I can't believe I'm even questioning this right now." Erica, never one to sit on the sidelines, decided to stir things up even more when old videos of Yandy crying over trust issues with him reappeared, adding to the narrative that perhaps Mika wasn't pulling this off of thin air. One blog even claimed to have anonymous direct messages claiming that Masa and Mendeecees were spending time together away from cameras, though this was unverified, but the timing was enough to convince many fans. I'm just saying, if it wasn't true, why hasn't Yandy emerged victorious? Silence just exacerbates the situation. You really believe she should defend herself online? No sis, that's not fair. Spice scowled. Erica rolled her eyes. Fair? This whole situation isn't fair. Mika put it out there. Now the world is watching. In this game, silence equals guilt. The conversation at brunch changed when Masika unexpectedly showed up, invited by another cast member. The energy in the room froze as soon as she entered. Yandy wasn't there, but her absence was felt. Erica wasted no time and Mika took a slow sip of her drink and smiled. Look, I never said anything specific. All I did was tell the truth about what I've seen. If people want to assume that. So, Mika, are you going to keep playing these games, or are you going to put all your cards on the table? Mika asked. No girl, you can't be throwing bombs like that and then acting coy. You either spilling or you not. Masika's smirk transformed into a harsh grin. Let's just say this. I remember things that a man tells me in private. Spice moved closer, her tone skeptical. The other women exchanged looks that screamed disbelief mixed with curiosity, and the cameras captured every shred of doubt in their eyes. The tension was unbearable, and fans couldn't stop watching, replaying the scene and discussing online whether Masika was bluffing or quietly confessing. Back in her confessional, in the meantime, Yandy approached Mendeecees at home. Erica said, Look, I don't trust Mika as far as I can throw her, but she's too smug to be bluffing. I've seen women like that. They only talk like this when they got something to back it up. As she stood in the kitchen with her arms crossed, the unfiltered emotion was captured on camera. Are you going to look me in the eye and tell me that this woman is simply making this up? I already told you it's lies, Mendeecees said, slamming his hand against the counter in an obviously irritated manner. She's CRAV's attention, therefore she's attempting to ruin what we have. Yandy's eyes filled with tears. His quiet in that moment was more powerful than words, and the cameras focused on Yandy's face as she muttered, God, please don't let this be true. But why is she so confident? Why does she act like she knows something I don't? Why won't she stop? Mika continued to fuel the flames as their home fell apart, laughing during another live session. Baby, I don't have to pursue influence. Cloud is after me. When I talk, people become upset, but they always listen. Consider why. The more criticism she received, the more she redoubled her efforts. While some fans praised her for exposing lies, others begged her to leave Yandy alone. The pivotal moment occurred when an enigmatic video appeared online. It showed a man who appeared to be Mendeecees entering a hotel lobby late at night. followed minutes later by a long-haired woman whose face was partially obscured. But many believed it looked like Masika. The internet went crazy, but nothing was verified. "That's him, no doubt," one fan wrote. "His gait demonstrates it." Mendeecees immediately disputed it, calling it desperate lies, but Masika added fuel by sharing the video with a mysterious caption. "It's always the ones who scream loyalty the loudest." Others said it was a phony, dramatized clip, but the damage was already done. The fan base was rocked by that action. Why would she repost it if she wasn't involved? Her silence could have killed the story, but instead she fueled it. The fan reactions were harsh, with supporters urging Yandy to leave Mendeecees trending for days and critics accusing her of being stupid. Yandy, on the other hand, shared a photo of her children with the caption, "My sole priority." Erica, Spice, and Rashida all discussed the matter while filming, and Rashida, being the realist, shook her head. This just fueled fan speculation. Was she choosing to put the drama aside, or was she silently admitting the end of her marriage? Man, this is more than just a rumor. It's ruining Yandy. She doesn't deserve this disaster. Not after everything she's done for that man. Erica shrugged. Whether she deserves it or not, the truth always comes out. I just want to see the truth. Either Masika is lying through her teeth, or she's going to demolish the entire house. Spice sighed. Receipts. Producers pushed for a sit-down between Yandy and Mika as the city was buzzing. And despite her reluctance, Yandy finally agreed, determined to confront the woman who had been haunting her marriage. The scene was set for one of the most dramatic confrontations in hip-hop and love history, and the tension was oppressive as they sat across from each other, with cameras rolling and cast members watching from the sidelines. Yandy's hands trembled in her lap as Mika whispered, "Then tell me. If you've got something to say it now." Mika leaned forward, her voice calm but cutting. "I don't hate you, Yandy. I actually respect you. But respecting you doesn't mean I'm going to keep quiet when I see the truth." The room fell silent. Yandy's face fell, her heart sinking at the words left hanging in the air. Mika smirked, her eyes glinting with something unreadable. Some truths aren't ready to be told yet, but when the time comes, you'll see for yourself. And then, without any clarity, the confrontation ended with even more questions, leaving everyone uneasy and wondering just how deep this scandal truly ran. With her head down and her expression unreadable, Yandy left the building, the cameras following her, capturing the heavy silence that seemed to hang over her. Mika remained seated, sipping her drink, her smirk never fading. To many onlookers, it appeared that Masika had won that round not by proving anything, but by sowing enough doubt that it rocked Yandy to her very core. The blogs wasted no time taking note. Online, screenshots of the altercation went viral, with descriptions such as "Masa leaves Yandy speechless." At home, Yandy tried to maintain a strong front for her children, but the cracks were visible. In a touching moment, she sat on her bed with her closest friend, after everything fell apart. Fans couldn't stop watching the drama, replaying clips, focusing on Yandy's teary eyes, and debating in comment sections about who was actually telling the truth. "I feel like I'm living in a nightmare," he said, in a voice that was hardly above a whisper. "Every time I think it's just rumors, something else happens that makes me question everything. I don't want my kids to see me broken, but inside I'm breaking." Mendeecees was trying to clear his name, but the more he spoke, the less convincing he sounded. He vented, "Yo, this is all cap," during a barbershop scene with the guys. "Masika is not in here attempting to discredit me, but she has nothing. She would have dropped the receipts by now if she had any." After nodding, Kirk whispered, "But it was already bigger. Perception is everything. The more defensive you get, the worse it looks. You got to figure out how to shut this down before it gets bigger." Now, fans were searching through old video of Masika and Mendeecees meeting at events, hoping to check for flirting. "Look at the body language. Something ain't right. Language. Something ain't right." Spice attempted to play peacemaker during a group gathering, telling Masa, "You need to chill, girl. You don't realize the damage you're causing." Slow motion videos of them laughing in the same corner of a party started making the rounds on TikTok. Mika retaliated without thinking. "Yeah, I understand that, but lies are the cause of damage. I simply pulled back the curtain. I didn't cause the mess." Spice shook her head.